Well, hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm not late, Mrs. Urban. I had to get Bucky set up here. Ah, yeah. So Bucky can join us. I forgot last week, and none of y'all got on to me for forgetting to get him set up in a chair here with me. So yeah, necklace keeps getting twisted around here. Whatever. All right. Suburban didn't said I didn't ask for. No, it was agreed. I had the conversation with him when we got Bucky that I was going to have to borrow him for lives. So and Riley said okay. So little man forgot that, but no, we did in fact have that conversation that the Bucky Beaver was going to be added as a honorary member to my lives on Friday. So that's that. He can arm wrestle me about it if he wants to. What's up, T Fetch? How you doing, Bobo Schnoggins? Of course, Mrs. Urban here, my love, my darling, my beautiful wife that dealt with a bunch of crap this morning from the kids that she did not deserve, and I kind of had to leave her to taking charge of it so that I could get to work on time. So bless her for having to deal with all of that. LCap, how you doing, man? How you doing? And Robert. Oh, I made some iced coffee because, like I said, this morning's chaos with the kids. I have my stepkids are in town this weekend. They flew in late last night, so and didn't get home till super early this morning. So there's a whole bunch of commotion when they arrived, and they were still somewhat wired from the trip. So yeah, it was not fun. And then trying the rest of us trying to get up. Yeah, it was a nightmare. So I was kind of rushed with the chaos, and I didn't get an opportunity to drink a full cup of coffee this morning. So as soon as I got home, after running a couple quick errands after work, I made myself a nice coffee. And since it's after 9:30 in the morning, this is when my cutoff time is to where I can start adding some booze to my drinks. I'm not an alcoholic, I swear. But yeah, so there's some tasty stuff in here as well. All right. So oh, real quick, say hey to Bucky for a second. Let me grab something. All righty. So y'all remember this thing, right? And it had the tape here. I haven't cleaned off the sticky stuff yet, but I managed to get the deck tape off of it, and I put it on a thin piece of wood, which is going to be a little thinner after I do some more sanding, and I'm going to round off the edges. But so cut out the piece to go on it. It's still a little bit footprint wise, it's still just a little bit too big to sit inside the lip right there. So I got some more sanding to do all the way around, but I'm gonna get it there. And then on the outside, on the show side of it, once it's on there, it's going to say hashtag DSKFS. So I'm gonna get my buddy Scott at work with his laser uh, thing to do the DSKSF, do something kind for someone. hashtag, and that's gonna be on there, and then we'll give it away. So once it's all done, once it's 100% good to go, I felt like that was more fitting. The hashtag DSKFS was more fitting to put on it, since it was given away to me, that, and I'm giving it away to somebody else. I just felt like that was the most appropriate thing to put on there. So yeah, that'll be really cool. Instead of having that skateboard tape on there, to have a piece of wood with the hashtag on it. So that's that. That's it's in progress. It's slowly getting there. But yeah, it's just a little bit too big to sit inside that inlay. But yeah, it's close. It's close. More sanding, and I just absolutely love sanding. It's so much fun. I hate it. But I'll get there. What's up, Neil? How are you? Yeah, exactly. It's Irish coffee. I have water over here too, because I honestly I haven't drank that much water today. Hey, there's Ding Ross and Gonzo. Gonzo snuck in here. Oh, you're just saying Gonzo really liked that utility, the OTF utility knife. Well, maybe he'll win it. Oh no shit! On a peen hammer? Yikes! Deep cracks aren't always a bad thing, though. If you know what I mean. Wink, wink. Hey, budget guys here. Cool. All right. Besides working on these things, stuff like that, and I've had a couple other things I've slowly been working on. How many days till Blade Show are we? I just got an email a handful of days ago. Prices on Blade Show tickets goes up on Monday. On Monday. So let me pull up here and share Z. Presente. Boom, shakalaka, boom. There you go. So June 7th, 9th. We are down to 48 days and 14 hours and handful of minutes. So yeah. And I got the email. Let's see what are ticket prices. There we go. It took a second to upload. Your 3-day plus Friday early bird pass, which gives you an extra hour early to get in there. They sold out of those. They sold out of the Friday single day plus early bird passes. So no more extra hour early. Now, honestly, I did that last year, and I did that last year for two main reasons. But the whole situation for me was, it was my first time going to the show. I wasn't sure exactly what I was totally expecting. I had some conversations with a few individuals, particularly Said Stevie. And Said Stevie, if you don't know him well enough, if you hadn't had in-depth conversations with him, he's not big about details. I wouldn't say he's the last minute throw shit together guy. He's not that. He does plan stuff out. He does, make reservations for things. But as far as, the specific details that some people who are like ultra preparedness type people who just want to know all the information, and my wife knows I drive her crazy with this, that I'm that way, that I like having all that information. But yeah, he he doesn't like to dish any of that out. So it's not fun talking to him about, that kind of stuff. It's like pulling teeth for me. I don't know if anybody else has had that experience with him. I love the guy. He's such a cool dude, and he's so much fun to hang out with. But boy, is anything that has to do with planning, or anything that has to do with making a schedule, he is not about that. Is what I've gathered out of him so far. No, Dane Ross, we're not going to talk about Blade Show every day up till it, but I just wanted to put out, because not everybody gets their emails or checks their emails, and sometimes with certain emails you don't get that information from those particular sources when they do this, when they up prices, or when they put out the map of the show of where all the
that isn't a human being.
Stuff is. Yeah, okay. Just set it down and choose. But yeah, so I don't know what prices are. How I think they said they were going up by like $20. So a 3-day pass was $60. I think the 3-day with the early bird was $80. It was another $20. For me, it wasn't. This year, it wasn't worth an extra $20 getting to go in an hour early like last year. Again, last year I didn't know exactly what I was expecting, and I have a little bit of anxiety issues that really kind of get flared up with crowds. So I'm not so great with packed crowds of people. Normally, I did seem to do okay, because I have my own techniques that I've learned from therapists and whatnot on how to focus on just what's right in front of me and not use my peripheral so much, and then and then just keep moving. Just always keep myself moving. Don't just stay in one place for too long, because if I stay in one place for too long, then I kind of soak in all of my surroundings. And if when I'm in a really big crowd, and I do that, I soak in my surroundings, that's when my blood starts boiling, and my heart's racing, and I get super jumpy, very anxious. So but yeah, so this, and another reason why I got the early bird ticket last year was because there were a couple of knives that I knew was going to be at the show in small quantities. There was like 2 of them that I really wanted, and I was being impatient because I had seen them on videos of people who showed them off when they showed them off at SHOT Show at the end of January. So everybody who gets to go to SHOT Show and does videos on all the new knives that companies are coming out with, there were 2 of them that were shown in some videos that like I was itching badly to get my hands on. So that was the other reason why. And then the third reason, I guess, is I wanted to meet Joe Flowers, like super, super bad. I wanted to be able to get to him and have a decent conversation with that man before he got insanely busy and freaking everybody was on his toes. So that was one of my goals. That was like the number 2 goal. Number 1 goal was to get at least one of those 2 knives that I wanted really, really bad. And then my second goal was to get to have a meaningful, solid conversation with Joe Flowers. And I did. And I got both of the knives, and I got to talk to Joe for at least 10 to 12 minutes. At least 10 to 12 minutes. We had a very lengthy conversation, and it meant so much to me to get to see him and speak to him and shake his hand and talk about the stuff that he does and how much I wish I could go do that with him. If I didn't have the responsibilities of a family and all. But yeah, he is such such a huge-hearted guy, and he knows so much, and he's done so much. A lot of us, talk a lot about bushcrafting skills and for me, pioneering skills, which is like Civil War type battlefield camping, that kind of stuff. and, and survival skills and all that. They all kind of play in hand with each other just a little bit and overlap just a little bit, even though they're totally different things. Bushcrafting, pioneering, and survival preparedness they're three totally different areas. Even though there's really just a few skills in each of them that can overlap and be used in other aspects, but they are very, very different in the greater scheme of it. But yeah, so it was a blast to get to talk to him, and I don't get to do that stuff as much as I would love to. I really would like to be able to get more time to tinker around with that and practice the things that I've learned and explore some other ways that other people are doing stuff. It's just you can only do so much in one day, and when you have so many responsibilities as a father to a bunch of young kids, and working and a wife working and everything that is involved in our lives, yeah, it's hard. It's hard. But hey, I did bushcraft. I emailed you back. I did get my video out on my Ridgeline, which, forget who was it who was like, oh, I thought you bought the Honda truck, and I was like, no, I didn't. Ridgeline is not just a truck. But I did do my video, and I did get I gotta share this with y'all. So because it was kind of funny, but for me kind of sad at the same time. Let me go to my channel.
Watch some shows.
I don't know where it's at.
Zoe has it.
Well,
Give it to me.
I don't. If she's not watching, then yeah, she should give you the remote. Give it to Cody. Let Cody have it for about an hour and a half. I don't care, Zoe. Shut it. Oh my gosh. Why did I have kids? Alright, let me go to my channel. And go to my Ridgeline. It's not the video so much as the let me get rid of the Blade Show ticket stuff and represent this guy. Share. All right. Can y'all? Yep, y'all can read that. Yeah. So I did the video, and if you want to bother watching the video, if you're remotely interested in bushcraft, or at least with camping, setting up tarps for shelter, or for just putting over your kitchen area where you got all your gear and whatnot. I wanted to do this video because there's so many videos out there where it's all about learning all the different knots. There's about roughly close to half a dozen solid ways of setting up a tarp using one piece of rope or cordage as a what's called a Ridgeline. And I wanted to do a video to where for anybody who does not know knots and is not good with knots, just struggles with knots. There's plenty of people out there that knots is like, if they can't ride a bicycle, they can't tie knots. Knots are impossible for them. There are people out there who do not know how to tie shoes, do not know how to tie a pair of shoelaces. So that's one of the reasons why I did this video, to show how you can do it without having to learn any knots. Now, I guess I didn't stress enough in the video that that was the purpose, and I'm not 100% saying that you should only do it this way, that knots are stupid. That's not what the video was about. The video is to present a way to do it for those who can't do it or severely struggle and get super frustrated trying to do it any of the normal ways that use a handful of knots and involves tying knots. There is a little carabiner clip that Night Eyes makes called the Configure 9 carabiner, and this is how you use them. So that's like the second purpose of the video, was to show a major demonstration of how those carabiner clips are used as far as using them in making a ridgeline. So no, I do not go over the balloon knot. Oh, you're killing me, man. So in the video, I did the setup that I have used for years before Night Eyes even came out with these clips, where you use the Prusik knots or Prusik loops, and then you use a trucker's hitch at one end. And then you just use a half hitch. I just use a half hitch around the first tree at the other end. I've done that way. It is tried and true. So many seasoned bushcrafters, you do it exactly that way. And there are so many out there that believe that there's nothing better than the Prusik knot for the tarp, and the fact that it's a fairly easy knot to tie if you can tie knots. And it's extremely adjustable in where you place the tarp along your ridgeline. They work fantastic. It's an amazing knot. But I did point out kind of one of the side effects / downfalls of using Prusiks, mainly when you have them very far away from each other and with a very wide tarp setup. Urban cheated and used a quarter hitch. I want to see what the fuck a quarter hitch even looks like. Like, how do you do that? But anyways, so this is what was interesting, and I had this guy comment this rather quickly from posting the video. He said, "I hate this setup. You can save the 9 carabiners by tying paracord or bankline loops to the tarp and pass the ridgeline through the loops twice for an auto lock tension." So again, I had to think about what he was trying to say. It's not how I would have worded it, but I eventually understood what he was getting at. And he says, I do not like all the tension on the tarp. Prefer to have all the tension in the ridgeline and hang. So this is not originally what he wrote. He edited this from his original thing. In my answer, I actually, because I answered him, because I don't mind, and I will do that. I will totally answer. Why? I don't understand why it won't. There we go. All right. So one, I pointed out that the carabiners remove the need to tie the knots, as I said many times in the video, which is extremely useful for plenty of people who struggle to learn to tie knots. Amount of tension on the addressing his own bullet points. Number 2, the amount of tension on the tarp is the same using the carabiners as it would be with Prusik knots. You're not creating more tension. You're just replacing the Prusik knot with this Configure 9 carabiner. Number 3, any and all tension on the knots will always alleviate some amount of tension on the ridgeline in the area between where the 2 Prusiks are. That's just straight up physics. If you understand how physics works, when you are yanking, when you're grabbing a chunk of cord here and a chunk of cord there and you're pulling together, the cordage that's there between where you're pulling is going to become looser. There's going to be less tension, period. That's everybody should know that that's how that works. What happens when you do that? So the fact that the Prusiks or the carabiners and going around from the trees to the carabiners rather than using the Prusiks attached to the ridge line stays rigid. And I mean, just you watch the video, you'll get how doing what I did eliminates that tension relief that happens from the Prusiks being used, because you're no longer using the ridge line in order to put tension on the tarp. You're using the ridge line to support the tarp above the ground. That's all it's doing. So I said, clearly you're not thinking about this with an open mind and understanding of the concept and its purpose of showing the use of those carabiners and providing a solution for those that are intimidated by knots or simply want another way of setting up a ridge line. That's all the video was. It was just show a way that nobody else is doing it that could help a lot of people who struggle with it. Now, for many of us who are seasoned bushcrafters who have done enough camping and have set up tarps using a ridge line, using cordage in some way, shape, or fashion, yeah, I totally understand how and can see how a lot of people would not like this kind of a setup. You know, I'm totally good with not using the Configure 9 carabiners and using the trucker's hitch in the Prusiks. I don't mind that little bit of slack that's caused most of the time. But it is just another method, and it's just another way. And I did, make those points of, when you use the Prusiks, you create slack on the ridge line in between them. And then I also mentioned how even though paracord is so damn cheap and so easy to get, it's actually not the best thing for ridge lines. It works, but it's not the best. There is better cordage out there, and that's what I've discovered. And I use the better cordage. I like the different properties that it has and what it can do that paracord does not do. And so, yeah, it was just more information and looking at something that people have done so many videos on, and I just wanted to put out another way, some other ideas. That was it. And this guy, immediately, I hate this setup. He was so totally closed-minded, completely dismissive of the ideas from the get-go. And you just gotta laugh about those individuals who do that. It's like they're lost, right? So in every video that I do that I put on my channel, I hope that I'm saying something, mentioning something that nobody else has mentioned. I'm looking at something in a way, in a perspective that nobody else has presented, and that somebody gets something out of that because of the fact that I'm looking at things in a different way. So I don't know if Bushcraft, have you gotten around to watch that video? It is a lengthy video. It is a lengthy video. Just because there's a lot of explaining and talking involved in that, and I'm not the greatest at shortening all of that. It was hard to do that. I originally actually had about an hour's worth of video footage on all of it, and I managed to get it down to like 22 and a half minutes. So I think that's pretty good. Did you? If you watched it, then why the fuck didn't you comment? No, I'm just kidding. You should have left a comment. But, well, what do you think? Honestly, do you hate it too? Because, I mean, it doesn't bother me if you do. I just, like I said, I can see a lot of bushcrafters looking at that and being like, well, that's stupid. I don't like that. I wouldn't do it that way. It's hard when you've been taught one method on something, or maybe two methods on something, and gotten set in your ways and doing it the way that you like, and you do it that way every time for so many years, so many times, and then like trying to do it in some other way that's foreign to you. It's like, yeah, I don't know about this. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there for anybody that it might be beneficial for. So, as you saw, I carried yesterday and today. I left it. No, I put it in my back of my pocket. I carried my Vision, the Civivi Vision that I have, and these were the white scales that I dyed and ended up getting kind of like a light minty green out of it, which is really cool. I originally was going for a darker green, but then when I saw it coming out like this, I was like, hey, that's different. That's kind of cool. I kind of like it. So it's just got that light minty green tone to it, color tone to it. And I don't have anything. I don't have any other piece of G10 on any other knife in my collection that has that kind of a light minty green. And so it's neat. And I felt like it looked really good with the Damascus blade. And Civivi does, forget what they use as their core. It might be Nitro V on these, but they do a fantastic job on their and I'm not a big fan of Civivi by any means. I've actually become less of a fan of Civivi over the more recent years, but I do have to give them props, give them street creds for doing probably some of the best work on Damascus. They do a really, really, really good job. It did not almost fly out of my hand. Shut up, Gons. It did not. It did not. I did not pull a KC. I did put the Civivi milled clip on there, which functions way better than the fold over clip. It definitely feels way better ergonomically than the fold over clip, but it does look a little weird with the way the relief cut is for the clip, for the original fold over clip. So having that large cutout when the pocket clip is that size, that kind of looks a little odd on the back end. It's not the most flattering, but I mean, look at that side on the show side. So you still have that on the show side. So it is what it is. But the blade is sick. That is really a very nice Damascus, and it feels like when you put your fingers on it, you feel the layers of it. It's cool. Really neat. the faux Mascus. Yeah. It is dyed, Dr. Drew Dude. It is dyed. It's a light mint green. It was bone white, stone, like bright white, and I dyed it in some green Rit dye, like that forest green Rit dye, and just didn't leave it in for very long, and it came out just a very light mint green. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. I mean, you don't. It's hard to see so well in the lighting with my camera on the computer, but in person, it's definitely green. It is absolutely green. It looks darker than what you're seeing on the camera. So I don't know. I might take it to Blade Show to prove it to some of them. No. All right. Good. It's not baby shit green. It's like the Easter eggs, the plastic Easter eggs. It's that kind of a green on some of them eggs. But it's not baby shit green. There's like 5 different shades of baby shit green. You know that, right? It's been a while since it's been 6 years since I've right about 6 years since I've had to change a baby poopy diaper. So, but after 4 kids, I think 4 kids that I've changed diapers for. It's hard to not remember. Really? And well, I'll have to take a picture of one of the eggs, that Easter eggs that we've got. That's that shade of green. Yes, monitor settings, camera settings, also the lights that are in the room here. I don't have a big fancy studio set up, not at this house. Hopefully, fingers crossed, in my next home. The plan is for sure to have a room that is dedicated, an entire room dedicated as my studio slash a lounge slash outdoor stuff storage room. Yeah. For everything that needs to be kept inside and in a temperature regulated area, like sleeping bags and stuff. And my backpacking tents and whatnot. So yeah, hopefully the next house I will have the dream setup that I want. But yeah, you want me to send it to you, Gons? Yeah, I haven't carried that knife in a while. So yeah, send it back to me, brown. No, I'd be mad at him for that. But of course, I carried the pulse. Always got the pulse. I need to sharpen it. I said probably like 4 lives ago that I needed to sharpen it, and that I was going to, and I've yet to do it. I've just been so caught up on doing so many other things, and trying to work every goddamn minute that I can for a larger paycheck from Lowe's, because I needs the money. I was just talking to Sharif the other day. Cody, can you shut my door, please? Hey, can you shush and shut my door, please? Shush. Go away. What are you laughing at? Yeah, it's Bucky.
Why do you give him a special seat?
Because it's Bucky the Beaver. Of course he gets a special seat. Go
Is he
away.
a special visitor?
Yes, he is my guest, my star guest. Go away.
I should be your star guest.
Yeah, okay. If the world didn't have so many crazy people in it, then I could put my daughter on my live streams. But no, for your safety and protection,
But you like
go
Tommy.
away. Just build a tree fort. That is actually what I mean. Not a true blown tree fort, but I would like to build again at my next home, because it's kind of pointless to put in all that effort and the expense that it would cost to do it. But I would love to do a permanent bushcrafting shelter in in the yard at my next home. Goddamn chair. But yeah, so hopefully the next house, I will also, along with having a studio room, outdoors dedicated room, I hope to do a bushcraft shelter, a permanent bushcraft shelter that I can do lots of video footage, recording of different things and whatnot, and not have to go places in order to get the environment that I need to demonstrate things. So yeah, I mean, I could do it over in the one corner of my backyard here, but that's a good bit of work and money, and if it's not going to stay before we move in a handful of years, then it's not worth doing it for just to have it for 2 to 3 years. So I'm going to wait till the next house, which fingers crossed will be our forever home for the missus and I. That's the plan. And I'll be able to have all those things and do all that stuff. That is one thing that I'm absolutely jealous about, said Stevie, and the fact that where he lives, he is so close to all these outdoorsy trails and the waterfalls and the cave tunnels and all this cool stuff. Like I'd be out there every moment that I can, doing stuff out there if I was right there that close to all of that and not stuck where I'm at right now. But hey, who else besides me lives in a house with a mortgage that's at less than 4% interest rate? We're actually under 3% interest rate. Who else can say that they've got a mortgage right now that has that low of an interest rate? We're at like right about 2.5%. You can't do that these days. Nowhere. I don't care how good your fucking credit is. You cannot. Nobody can get a mortgage right now for less than 3% of an interest rate. It's just not. The housing market is so bad. It is so bad. And homes are like, a home that was $300,000 5 years ago is now 700,000. Like it more than doubled. It went up by like 60% more. It's nuts. So until that changes, I'm where I'm at. You can't make an art. I'm not so unhappy here to where I'm willing to throw away that much money just to live where I want to live and move where I want to live, move to where I want to be. It's just not. I don't know if financially we could even do it, and even if we could, it's just not smart. It's not smart. Yeah, I'm not going from a 2.5% interest rate to a 9% interest rate. It's just not happening. I'm not doing it. It has to be below 4.5 for me to even consider moving and mortgaging a new home. Now, if we were to just win the freaking lottery, which Mrs. Urban is actually playing a little bit here and there, she gets a ticket every once in a while. She hasn't won anything big. She's I think $20 is the most that she's won off of a single ticket. So she's really what she's won is pretty much almost equivalent to what she spent purchasing the tickets, the lottery tickets. So it's not she's not gotten any good payout. Oh yeah, did he have a whole bunch of nonsense going on? Yeah, I quit watching his lives. Um him and oh, what's his name? Metal Complex. I used to enjoy and Bees Blades. I used to love watching their lives. But once it got to like over 200 to 300 people in the chat, and the chat was just moving so fast, and you couldn't get questions in, serious questions. Couldn't get those into the chat well enough for him to read them and answer them. And it got really difficult. It got really difficult to ask serious questions. And it was hard to see what people were saying just because chat was just going so fast. And then he's not interacting with the chat because of the fact that it's going so fast. So they're just putting on like almost as if it was a normal YouTube video, where he just rambles about stuff, just talks about things. So it got less entertaining for me. And I'm kind of glad. I mean, it would be amazing to have 100 people join me on Friday afternoons, evenings. But I'm very happy and super grateful for the people for the handful of you fellas, guys and gals, because I know we don't have Mimo joined. There we go. What's up, bud? Mr. Who was it? Was it Maddie or Stevie who said the other Wednesday night that they bet that Mimo has a Rolodex of like one-liner jokes, that he just has something for absolutely every occasion, and he just drops them one after another after another. Hey, brand news here. That was funny. Joseph, how are you? And Marisol. Is that how you say that, Marisol? I only like lives that have OLED gauze. I have not. Did anybody buy anything from Olight's recent sale? Hold on a second while I try to get my chair fixed again. Olight did a fairly recent sale. Sorry. They had a fairly recent sale where they really just did, wasn't any new lights, new models, but they did like different coatings. Like they took the coolest thing I guess they did was take this guy, and they did the retro racing orange and yellow striped deal on it. So I've got this guy and I've got the copper one, and I was almost debating about trying to sell the copper one because I don't use it. I wouldn't use it. It is heavy. I wouldn't travel with it because of its weight. So I didn't buy anything from the last Olight sale. I am hoping / waiting for them to make a smaller, more compact version of this guy. Did you know that y'all can do that with the Night Tour? With this light, it's not plugged in, right? So when it's plugged in, you can tap the top to it, and it turns on this on this guy. But you can also take it off and shake it to turn it on and off. You have to really give it a good hand job to get it to go, but it'll go. It's only when it's plugged in, the whole thing's plugged in at the top. Otherwise, you gotta shake it. Shake it like I mean it. But yeah, I think it would be awesome if they did a compact version of this, kind of like a travel size. What I would do is I would go twice the diameter, almost twice the diameter of the tube. I think this is like a 1-inch tube, and I would probably go to a 1 3/4, almost a 2-inch, and make it half the height, and make this guy still bend at the top, but have them retract, have it be retractable. That's what I would do. I think that would be cooler because a lot of people don't. This is a little too big to have on a nightstand. It's great for at a desk, but it's for many. I think it's a little too big, a little too gaudy, and bulky to have on a nightstand, especially if your nightstand already has a traditional table lamp on it. So if they could make a compact version of this, maybe knock down the price by 20 to 30 bucks, I think they'd sell a crap ton of them. I would buy one. But yeah, I like the Night Tour. It's a good lamp and light combo deal. I was poking around on Amazon the other night when I can't freaking, my mind's racing too much to go to bed, to try to get some sleep. I either search the YouTube for insane stuff and watch review videos about whatever, or I jump on Amazon and do dumb searches on Amazon. But there's let me see if I can find it again. Here we go. Let me share these with y'all. I don't know if anybody's seen this, but I found these guys, which are 1580. They're like a slightly smaller version of what Olight has in those little little tent light, old school looking lights, lantern lights. So they have that guy that are only 1580, and they are rechargeable. They're USB-C rechargeable. I don't think they get quite as bright as the Olights, and the one thing that's kind of the downside of them is they don't have like a hook clip on the top of it. They have this little string cordage deal, elastic cordage with a little tiny little hook on the end of it to clip it to something and have it hang. So I kind of like that idea, but it doesn't have as much versatility as the way Olight does theirs. But for $15.80 rather than whatever what does Olight charge for theirs? Like 50, 60, 70 bucks for those little lanterns, the ones that don't have the speaker base to it. But then this is what I was looking at, these other two that are right here, these camping rechargeable lanterns with the folding out base things. Like, that's the compactness that I was thinking about as a mini Night Tour. I wouldn't go with exactly this design. I don't like the base being this fold out tripod deal. I prefer the base that the Night Tour has, the solid base. Less moving parts, the better. Um, I don't like and wouldn't see the need for a lamp, a table lamp lantern light to have such a long extendable telescopic reach for the light as this one has, but you get the idea. So yeah, I was just looking at these. Uh, if I have an extra 30 bucks, 30, 40 bucks just floating around, which I don't, and I won't for a while, it would be nice to pick up two of these little rechargeable ones, the little camp lanterns. They have I love that retro, that old school look that he definitely gives to your bushcrafter type old timey vibe. Absolutely. And right now, look, it's even got a 5% coupon, so it end up being right about 15 bucks. Get rid of that 80 cents even after tax. It wouldn't be too bad. What would it be? About $16 after tax? I don't know. But yeah, these look pretty cool. They look pretty promising. The reviews are good. They have all the different color modes. It does not list how big the battery is. They don't tell you the actual size of the lithium battery, the capacity. It spits out supposedly 1,000 lumens. So realistically, more likely probably around the 750 range. A lot of companies fib on that. They exaggerate. See at the down at the bottom there, you can see the little hook that's at the end of the elastic cord. So yeah, that's how it's meant to be attached. Kind of just dingle dangle. But yeah, these look cool. And that's a pretty damn good price. It says it takes 3 hours to charge, and it can reach 4 to 12 hours. So about 3.5 to 4.5 hours on its brightest setting is, I guess, what they're expecting, and then probably 10, somewhere between 10 and 12 hours on its lowest brightness. Which is not, again, not bad. Not bad. None of these show the size of it. Let's see, does it list it below? It says it's like 4 inches tall. Or 4 inches wide or whatever. I don't know. It's this 13.8. I'm guessing they've got to be measuring it with the cord, which is kind of silly. It says assembled length, assembled width, 4 inches. So it's, yeah. But yeah, I thought those were cool. If anybody's interested in something like that besides me, definitely has that bushcrafty vibe. Faux show. A red one from the 60s? Oh, yeah. Is it is it a oil filled? You got to put the oil in it? I have one that's like that too. That was my wife's grandfather's. It was her grandfather, so it's probably about 60 to 70 years old. Still rock a Coleman white gas. Gives off. Man, they do. I remember using those in Boy Scouts all the damn time. My dad still got one or two of them. Yeah, they do put out an insane amount of light, and they really don't use that. I mean, they do, but they don't use that much gas. Oh, I leave Amazon reviews from time to time. Yeah. Good ones and a couple bad ones. I've left a couple of bad ones. I mean, to me it's not bad. It's just pointing out like, hey, this was not what I was expecting in these particular aspects, or hey, by the way, this won't exactly work for this if you're trying to do this with it. So, look for something else. I've only left on White Mountain knives. I've only left maybe 2 reviews on White Mountain knives. We can go to White Mountain Knives and look at some of their new stuff that they've gotten. Oh, they just dropped within the last hour or two. They dropped a Vero Axon Mini. Cool. Let me share Z. So yeah, there's an Axon Mini. There's a Corgi. There's a spot on my Micarta open box return for a Real Steel Sacra with their slide lock. Denim Micarta. Love a good Micarta. CRKT using some 14C. Good to see that. Anybody want one of those purple handled S90V Gunslingers jacks from Jack Wolf? $350. I still think that's steep for all of his knives. But now that a lot of companies are selling his knives at 20% off, it's knocking it down good enough. Hey. Anybody picked up this one? Oh, come on, White Mountain. Oh, it no longer exists? Really? Is that so? There's a Titius. Out of stock.
Are you buying me a new knife?
No, I'm not buying a new knife. We're just looking at them.
Oh, I thought you were buying me.
No, I'm not buying you a new knife. I don't have any money to buy a new knife. I hate their website. When you go hit the next button, it kind of like halfway starts over. See, none of these Civivis that they're coming out with right now interest me at all. I feel like it's a lot of the same, and I mean in the stem cuts here. they look, there's just so much same going on. Like, how do you, I mean, other than the back end of the handles here and a deeper choil for your finger placement, what's the difference? There's no other difference between this stem cut and this Civivi right there.
Except for the price.
Yeah, the price. Civivi one's, well, I mean, it's
Like
a better,
twice the price.
it's a better steel on the blade. That's Nitro V versus 9CR. Not that 9CR is all that bad, but let me make sure.
Do you want me
What's
to,
Zoro's problem?
what's wrong? Do you want me to keep one of the chicken breast packet out so we can have it for dinner, or
Why don't you cook, since I've been cooking for like 5 weeks straight?
I don't know what to cook.
Well, I'm gonna do my best not to step on your toes and let you figure it out. How about that? Yeah.
Why?
Mrs. Urban is gonna try cooking again. Yeah, exactly, Ding Ross. Their website is a total mess. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I really don't have. I was talking to Sharif the other day about my financial situation. He was mentioned a couple of things that he's been struggling with, and it kind of humbled me. Like I thought what I was, doing was shitty. Dealing with was shitty. He's had some not so favorable stuff happen with him as well, uh, money wise, and it sucks.
Quick question.
Yes,
Can Cody play on the PlayStation for a couple hours since Andrew wants to play with him?
an hour,
An hour.
an hour. So if you like more, if you didn't like the Elementum enough, Civivi's now doing the Elementums, button lock Elementums with your razor blade, utility blades. Oh man, who bought one of those? Did any of y'all get one of those? That's a no thank you hard pass for me. Did anybody have this knife? I remember seeing it way back when it came out and was just felt like the shape, the profile of it was a little too wild for me at the time. Now I'm kind of digging it. Of course, it's already gone, so I can't buy one. But damn, whoever snatched that guy up for $106, that's a good deal. S35 VN, titanium, Warren Cliffy type blade, forward finger placement swoop there on the spine. That's a good looking. That's a really good price for a good looking knife. Robust mill pocket clip. Yeah. I kind of hated having to pass that one up, and it's 3.5-inch blade, so it's a good size. Designed by Jelly Jerry. I don't have any of his designs. Again, mostly because just a couple of years ago, really just like a year ago, I was not all about that kind of wild design cues. It's just not my jam then. But that's one heck of a good deal. I like the Shard a lot. And who's excited for Tempest for KC doing the flamed stripe, tiger stripe, flamed titanium on his knives? He's going to have those coming up fairly soon here, if not already. That's going to be sweet. But I really love the blade shape of the Shard here. I just don't like the flipper tab in the way that where it sits and the way it sits. I don't like it. I don't like the flipper tab on this one. That's what bothers me. I don't know why. It just does. But otherwise, that's a sweet knife. Again, S35. What's the blade length? Almost 3.5. Yeah. I don't have any titanium that's got the tiger stripe flame on it. It's cool looking though. Can y'all believe the last knife that I purchased was the let's see, it was the last two that I got was the Finch Hellfire and let me kill the Finch Hellfire, this guy, and the Artisan Weighed-In, which I am absolutely in love with the blade shape. Love the uniqueness of that blade shape. The tall sweep, upward sweep there for your thumb, and the very subtle long curve on the edge. Really, really like this blade shape. And the micro milled titanium with that beautiful crest is just such a gorgeous knife. The flipper on it, the front flipper on it, has had to grow on me, because I was at first not a big fan of it, and manipulating it in the hand, well, it had a tiny bit of a learning curve to it for me, but I do like it. It is a very, very sexy knife. And of course, this guy that was shown at Blade Show last year was the first time it was shown off. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love this knife. So yeah, it is. Well, actually, dang Ross, believe it or not, that was. I mean, in talking with Doom back when he was kind of in the quiet stages of designing his Soulstone, he asked me for my input once, I believe, and the 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 concept there was one piece that was a bit of an inspiration for the design of the blade shape, at least. So he did. I mean, he also had. There was probably about 4 or 5 knives that he was kind of pulling design cues from in his process of creating the blade shape that he wanted for that knife. So yeah, I mean, he pulled from probably at least 5 or 6 knives as far as inspiration in design for it. But I'm pretty positive that that was one of them. I think he might even actually have that knife. Now, you leaving us, Robert? You leaving us, Robert? Need some music? Hey, Robert, you want one of the speakers that I get? Let's see. I have not looked at it. How much are those speakers right now? Are they on sale again? I can't believe that they were down to like 11 or 12 bucks that other week. That was nuts to get that little powerhouse of a tiny little speaker. That thing was nuts. Let me go to my orders. Scroll down to when I bought that thing. Oh wow, okay. So they are for the red one, or for the red one right now. It's $18.99, but it comes with a 40% off coupon. So that ends up making it what does that end up making it? Yeah. After with tax, it's $12.19. $12.19 for the red one. Let's see what the other colors are at. So the black one is $17.99 with only a 20% coupon. The blue one, 20% coupon. The purple one, or no, Yeah, that's okay. That's the blue one. Blue one only has a 10%. What was it the purple that had the 20? No, that's blue. That's purple. Yeah. Anyway, so the red one is the one to get right now. It gives you the biggest discount. Well, it gives you the best price. But yeah, so with tax, it ends up being $12 and some change, and a little bit of change. Like I said, but yeah, love these little things. It's such a great deal. It's hard to say no at that price. It's hard to say no if you could use a little powerhouse 5 uh 5-watt speaker that's super compact, heavy duty. They're sweet. They're sweet. If you love music, I love music. It's nice to be able to put on some background music whenever you're just chilling, doing whatever. Well, good to see you in here. Have a good one, Robert. I'm gonna wrap it up really soon. It's already after 5. I've been here for over an hour. Let's go back to. I wanted to talk about this guy right here. The Valkyria. Is that how you pronounce that? Out of, I think this one's the prettiest. The blue, black, and white titanium foil carbon fiber. That looks gorgeous. I love that. Brushed satin, horizontal satin, the milled cutout. Yeah, I bet that sucker, Spidey flicks, under finger flicks, snappy as hell. But the problem is, it's 20 CV. I get that it's rubbed satin finish. I get that there's a good bit of milling in of titanium, and it's got the foil carbon fiber and yeah, but we has yet to up their game enough in their fit and finish for me to justify that as a $350 knife. I'm sorry. I like but I don't like where they're going with their price points. They want $350 for that guy. $350. And then you see the relief cut out on it and how the fat carbon slab kind of goes over that. I don't like that. I think that somebody kind of just didn't think long enough about that. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like that the thin bit of fat carbon being exposed with that cut going underneath it in that way. Do not like that at all. So to me, because of that, that is a fail. You hit the back button and it jumps to a whole different set of knives. What the? That pisses me off. Why do they do that? All right, now let's look at this one. This one is $697. Polished, bead blasted, gray titanium, Damasteel, Wharncliffe plain bait. Okay, the Damasteel looks nice. It looks really nice. What's the HRC? 59 to 61. So it's a little over 5 ounces in weight. Blade length is 3.64. So a little more than 3.5 inch blade. That Damasteel looks freaking sick. Do you have the same problem? Yeah, you do. See? You see that issue? Well, at least it's titanium and not carbon fiber. But still, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Yeah, I'm sorry that even with the Damas deal, that's just not a few dollars shy of $700. $700. It better be a fucking custom, and it better make my eyes blow up and my mouth drool and my heart skip a beat. Like that. This does not do that at all for me. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. I don't like it. Not for no $700. Ouch. That's painful. Oh, you've been lurking. You're a lurker today. Well, have a good one. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all. Everybody else needs to get out of here too. We all got stuff to do, right? Can't be on here forever. For a one-man show, I think I do pretty good in having stuff or coming up with stuff on the fly to talk about. But it would be nice to have a partner here with me. It was great when Maddie was able to join me that one day. If any of y'all ever want to join me on one of my lives, I am all for it. I'd be more than happy because this guy doesn't really say much. He just sits here with his teeth sticking out. He's kind of cute, but he doesn't contribute a whole lot. But I'll see you guys later. I've got a little bit of a busy weekend ahead of me, and I am tired. Despite drinking the coffee, I am tired. But y'all say your goodbyes, and hopefully I'll see you guys in some of the chats here and there for a little bit. Y'all know I appreciate you. Peace. Take care. Have a good one. I'm out of here.